Winning in today's competitive market means making the most of your existing resources. Whether a one-room operation or a large organization using instruments and data systems from a variety of vendors, any analytical laboratory that wants to succeed needs to increase productivity.
I've had the idea of trying to integrate a laboratory for a number of years. I want to take a number of instruments, I want to put them together, I want to be able to sit in one place, and I want to be able to pull the data out and then reanalyze it using programs which may be separate from the programs that are used to actually draw the data out of the instrument itself.
The demands placed on most laboratories are rapidly growing. Laboratories are expected to handle more and more samples of greater complexity using a number of different analytical techniques. They must meet increasingly stringent quality specifications, and they must satisfy the requirements for precisely managed and executed analyses, data generation, information handling, and archiving embodied in the good laboratory practice and equivalent guidelines.
If we improve efficiency, we generally improve quality, and one of the best ways to improve quality is to improve efficiency. And we've also found that one of the best ways to do that is to computerize and automate as much as possible.
The key to meeting these challenges is through laboratory automation and integration. To do this requires knowledge of computers, networking, and analytical chemistry. It also demands a cohesive plan to pull it all together and a vendor who can provide the service and support necessary to implement it. Hewlett-Packard, the only analytical instrument vendor that is also a leading computer manufacturer, can help any laboratory integrate and automate routine and complex procedures. Hewlett-Packard has capitalized on its combined expertise to create a comprehensive strategy to link all of the existing instruments and systems in a laboratory so that they work as a unified whole. Called the HP Unified Laboratory, this umbrella approach encompasses all of HP's analytical products and services, as well as those from other vendors. And because every laboratory setup is different, Hewlett-Packard has developed standards-based solutions to help unify multiple analytical techniques and diverse computer controllers.
When I first had this idea of putting together this laboratory system, I called the people at Hewlett-Packard and said, I have a spectrophotometer, I have a Unix workstation. What I want to do is to add a gas chromatograph and an HPLC, personal computer, and time in the future some other instruments. Is there any way you can come up with a system which would allow me to hook up the instruments such that I could have one computer basically controlling both instruments and then use that computer to interface to another computer so that I could go into more sophisticated analysis?
Dr. Leonards was very much interested in obtaining a laboratory where the data was accessible to him as well as his chemists in the lab.
Right now the biologists and the chemists are in separate buildings, and for us to talk we have to pick up the phone or we have to literally walk and talk to each other. By having the computer system set up such that we can share with the chemists their data and our data, it'll allow us to actually see what it is they're coming up with in terms of synthesis.
Just saving that time, footsteps and manpower, the Unified Lab is a wonderful solution for that.
I had a number of independent pieces of equipment. Each piece was always independent. It was a self-contained unit which sat on a desk, and it would take samples, analyze them, and put out, say, a simple plot or something like that. But that's about as far as you could get. And what I really needed to do is be able to take the data from a particular experiment, put it into another computer, say with an advanced statistical package or mathematics package, where I could go through and do a further analysis. The idea was to take the number of instruments that you would have in the computers in the laboratory, put them all together so that from one particular point in your lab or in your office, you could draw upon the information that was available, and you could have the information move across from one system to the next automatically.
We were able to take the information from multiple instruments in the lab, giving him multiple data points, tying them together and sending them to his data system in his office.
Many laboratories without networking use a low-cost printer at each instrument station, and because there's no way to automatically transfer data between systems, technicians literally walk their files from workstation to workstation. By implementing a simple network, the need for multiple printers and plotters is eliminated. The HP Unified Laboratory simplifies lab operation by integrating the various departments within a laboratory.
One concept is that you put information in once, and you don't have to continue to being redundant and rewriting sample numbers on sheets of paper and so forth. And that's all integrated, and everybody and everything within the laboratory has access to that information. That it also extends beyond just the analytical and the technical work. On our database we have things like all of our supply orders, timesheets, and all that kind of information. So ultimately, all of our information will be on one system and in the system one time.
By automating functions such as data transfer, data archiving, and report generation, Hewlett-Packard can help laboratories access information from various systems and use that information immediately.
By having the Unix workstation integrated as part of the system, it allows me to use my pet programs that I have on the Unix workstation running to do some very detailed analyses. I can just literally sit at my desk in my office with my Unix workstation and pull up the data that's come across from both the instruments and from the spectrophotometer in the laboratory and see exactly what has happened.
Implementation of the HP Unified Laboratory increases security through the use of centralized data storage.
One of the reasons we selected Unix was because of the particular inherent capabilities in terms of limited access, security, ability to record what's been going on in the system.
One other reason we chose the Unix system and HP as a vendor is that it gives us the flexibility to add instrumentation to the existing system without too much trouble.
And the HP Unified Laboratory is appropriate for laboratories performing all kinds of analytical analyses, be they pharmaceutical, bioscientific, chemical, environmental, petrochemical, forensic, or related to food, flavors, beverages, or drug testing. The HP Unified Laboratory strategy is scalable to the size, complexity, and needs of the specific laboratory. Typically, laboratories fall into one of three categories. A Stage 1 laboratory is usually a business unto itself. Located in a single room, it may have 5 or fewer instruments, often of the same type. It's an island that doesn't connect within itself or to a corporate network. A Stage 2 laboratory usually has less than 20 instruments and may use more than one analytical technique. Different computer operating systems are linked together on one network. It may have a GC department or a GC mass spec area and a GC laboratory. By linking the equipment to a local area network, or LAN, a medium-sized laboratory is able to take advantage of all the benefits that result from sharing resources on a network. A Stage 3 laboratory has more than 20 instruments crossing product lines and techniques. Multiple computer platforms from different vendors are used, linking everything to LANs within the laboratory environment, and in turn, tying the LANs into a wide area corporate network enables a large laboratory to take automation to a whole new level of efficiency and productivity. Whether a laboratory fits into a Stage 1, 2, or 3 category, Hewlett-Packard works closely with laboratory personnel to implement a winning strategy. At the core of the HP Unified Laboratory is the ability to move data between instruments and computers, regardless of vendor or technique. Hewlett-Packard's standards-based solution is the HP ChemLAN family of networking products. Serving as the backbone to the HP Unified Laboratory, these products do more than just provide the pieces for basic network services such as file transfer and remote printing. They focus on linking analytical application software like data acquisition, data processing, report generation, and data archiving. HP ChemLAN products integrate the software that's already in use within the laboratory.
Every ChemLAN install typically is different because of the variety of hardware that the ChemLAN products support. We support not only the 4 different operating systems that the analytical products operate in, but we also support other vendors' hardware as well. We can put ChemLAN on a non-Hewlett-Packard personal computer running DOS and MS Windows. We can also support ChemLAN on a variety of different analytical chem stations, which again can be Pascal-based, MS-DOS-based, Unix-based, or one based on our RTE operating system.
The ChemLAN system is very user-friendly since it's based on the Windows system, the DOS Windows system. We're definitely more productive now that we've put in place the Unified Laboratory. We can promise clients better turnaround times, and therefore we've increased our business as a result of the Unified Laboratory.
Because HP's strategy is based on industry standards, users can interconnect virtually any system they have in their laboratories.
Unified Laboratory helps improve both quality and efficiency over even just some of the automation that we had previously. You put things in once, that information is available to all parts of the system.
The HP Unified Laboratory can be tailored to fit any laboratory's individual applications for optimum performance and productivity.
Unified Laboratory in my operation has essentially allowed us to dramatically increase our throughput. It has allowed me to analyze the data in ways which I could not analyze it before. And again, because of the instruments available, that's allowed me to see things that I could not have seen before. It just gives me a lot more detailed information for drawing conclusions in terms of the results from particular experiments and designing new experiments and evaluating compounds for drug discovery.
Working with Hewlett-Packard, it's possible to fashion a fully automated, integrated laboratory right now. The HP Unified Laboratory is being used with superb results in laboratories of all sizes around the world. With a proven track record for quality improvement, cost reduction, and increased regulatory compliance, the HP Unified Laboratory and a partnership with Hewlett-Packard is the best step you can take today to ensure your success tomorrow.